Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 80 of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Orlando, Florida.
Yes, Orlando, Florida. And if you hang around to the end of the show, we have a nice contest with a prize provided by Theme Park Connection.
And this is only the beginning.
Yes, we'll have prizes the next couple weeks.
That will be great.
So we're going to start the show with a quick trip to the Magic Kingdom.
And first we went to the Liberty Tree Tavern.
Right.
We had heard that there was a gingerbread display there. This isn't the first year they've done one.
Yeah, it was just a bit simpler this year.
Yeah, it was quite a bit. It's much less detail. It's still nice to see that they have a display. Last year, it didn't last very long.
Yeah, I know. We liked last year's very much. We went back, and it was already taken down. So hopefully this will have some legs. This is Independence Hall, and I believe the original one is in Philadelphia.
And the reason that the other one left, I guess like to manhandle the gingerbread.
Perhaps they ate the gingerbread.
I'm a little worried about that Disney
people are
cruise
hungry,
line.
they're in
the
line,
other one.
They're ready to go to eat, for their lunch, and you have dessert sitting there. I mean, you can't blame the guests.
I know they take it off of like the Grand Floridian Gingerbread House and the boardwalk.
Free gingerbread.
So anyway, it's a nice little display if you happen to be over at the Magic Kingdom near the Liberty Tree Tavern.
That's right. And we will move on from there. Our next stop was we went over to
the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Right, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. And look what we found.
Well, they're the vultures.
Yes, the vultures from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
I think like every story has vultures. They all seem to look alike to me.
Yeah, they look very, very mean, very menacing.
Well, they remind me sort of the vultures in Splash Mountain.
Right. I used to call them the judges. If you put top hats on those guys, they are like the judges somehow.
You can get menaced all over the Magic Kingdom.
That's very true. And there is the squid from 20,000 Leagues kind of peeking in over there.
And we're looking at this area was actually closed off in Fantasyland, which is very unusual lately.
Right. We call the construction area the island because they're doing all this construction, but guests are able to go all the way around. But in this case, it was closed off. And here is the Snow White's cottage.
Right. I believe that's what that is. And everything's coming along very fast now. So hopefully they'll be able to get this done by spring.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And also, you took a trip over to downtown Disney, and you can tell us about some of your pictures here.
Well, I was going to say, get there early if you're going because of all the construction going on. Get there at 9 a.m. or something. There was tons of parking, but not a couple hours later.
Well, not everybody has that availability.
If you can. And around the Santa Claus area, he wasn't there yet when I was there. They have all this the frozen signs, and you're going to see Olaf soon. There's,
Anna and Elsa.
It's
very
all
nice.
Frozen.
Well, Frozen is the big thing.
It is.
And we loved Frozen, by the way.
Frozen is everywhere.
Oh, look at this. There's you and Olaf.
It was very exciting.
Is he animatronic there?
No.
Well, we'll be seeing the animatronic one very soon, I guess.
I can't wait. And they have these, it's like topiary Mickey heads on a stick. And this is the
Mickey
biggest.
heads on a stick.
This was the biggest thing on my Instagram. We have a Mousesteps Instagram account, and that was what everybody loved the most.
Well, I could tell you were there early because it does not look very crowded at all.
There was nobody there, and that's the way I like it.
And I could see the marina has been completely
all
removed.
Gone. All gone.
And you went to the store, you found some new items?
Yeah, these shirts, again, Instagram, second biggest thing, were all these T-shirts that look like sweaters. Yeah. They all have sweater patterns.
I didn't realize that they were T-shirts when I first looked at those. Those are very cool, actually.
They are, and they're, like winter type T-shirts. And this is a necklace I have been, or it's a pendant. I've been looking for this design for years and years and years. I had it as a kid, and it's from the 70s, and I'm so glad to have it again.
Here's the future Starbucks going in.
Yes, and that's at the west side.
Festival of the Seasons, is that what they call it?
I guess so. There wasn't too much of a festival, but it was, it was a nice walk, and there's all kinds of concept art. There's walls everywhere, and so many pieces of concept art. And there used to be at Downtown Disney cases that included Hanukkah and Christmas and such. And this is actually in the windows now.
I remember seeing these. They were usually hard to find, even in the day. We couldn't always find them.
They're harder to find now, but at least they're there. It's nice to see that.
And that's about it for Downtown Disney. Now we're heading over to Epcot, where most of this show is about holidays around the world. We went on the very first day.
And we're starting at the front topiary. I neglected to get Thumper and Flower.
I would never say such a thing.
Last week I didn't realize they were there. Although they're there every year now. They this has been there several years, this topiary set.
That's true. They are the traditional topiary for the opening.
At least for the last few years.
So this is really an overview of holidays around the world. We tried to get a little of everything, or as much as we could, in there. Oh, there is Bambi himself.
From the Flower and Garden Festival,
right.
too.
Well, a lot of these are very familiar, especially Stitch. I mean, this Stitch has gone Flower and Garden, Christmas time. We've seen him all the time, year-round.
And he likes to eat the sign.
Always eats that sign.
He always eats it. And there's Joyful.
Joyful, that's right. Joyful is back. We, in a way, we're always kind of sad because they were sort of the replacement for the Lights of Winter.
Right.
So we shouldn't hold it against Joyful.
Right. They had a big audience, actually, when we passed by, the biggest I've ever seen for them.
This, surprisingly, was one of the coolest things of all we're about to see.
Not the mouse.
Do not sully the good name of the mouse.
It's not the mouse we're talking about.
I did not mean the mouse. It is this. It is the Gingerbread Village, a brand new Gingerbread Village.
And before we saw it, I kept saying it was probably going to be like a gingerbread universe. I was joking, but it really is like a gingerbread universe.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were there the first day. This was actually not from the first day. We came back on the 2nd of December when it actually opened.
It's really like a mashup of Disney all over the world.
Yeah, like that is the Great Wall of China, a wonder.
And I believe that Adventures by Disney is going to China this year. So it's sort of, I think some of it is Adventures by Disney related.
It's Disney from all over the world. I think everything is Disney.
But whose Yeti is that? I have no idea.
Well, it's not really moving. So that's not a very good joke. But okay, so this
Aulani.
is Aulani there. And as we look, I see Spaceship Earth in the background. I believe the Disney Cruise Line is represented
Yes,
right
this
here.
is the Disney Magic, and on the back of it, you may be showing it. It will say Disney Magic on it.
Yes, this is the particular ship is the Disney Magic, and let me tell you, you can't tell from this. It smells so good here.
It does,
but it's very dangerously close to guests.
I am
within
worried about
inches.
that ship. I am worried about the ship. It's the only thing I'm worried about. I think that it's going to have an issue.
I predict there'll be a few portholes missing on our next visit.
I think it's going down. So I hope
Spaceship
not.
Earth looks delicious right there, made out of gingerbread.
Is it? I have.
Yes,
it doesn't.
gingerbread.
I didn't think it was gingerbread.
And I say this is my interpretation. The reason it's white is because it has been snowed on. You see, just like up here, Big
I
Thunder
thought it
has
was
been
like
snowed
silver.
on.
I thought it was like silver, like
silver,
normal. It
snow,
reminds me of the
winter,
the thing you buy at the store. The Spaceship Earth. And there's another castle. And we saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa also.
Right. Now, I
Eiffel
at
Tower.
least think this signifies the Walt Disney World castle or some of the larger castles because it's larger than the castle we just saw. This train here says Big Thunder Mountain Railroad on it, and I believe that is a Big Thunder mountain. It looks kind of like Big Thunder. Notice, though, it's been snowed. See, my theory, it's been snowed on, you see?
I have
no silver
idea.
paint
I have
there.
no idea. There are some things here I don't really understand.
Well,
but I think that you have Paris and you have Leaning Tower of Pisa. That's sort of a Disney Cruise Line Adventures by Disney.
The bottom line is, this is an awesome display.
It is still an awesome display.
And we spent so much time looking at it, and we can figure out what it means to us or what it means to you, but we
There's
loved
two
it.
sides to it, too. There's so much to see.
So also new this year is the Canada Pavilion has we call them not kilter, because it's not off-kilter.
Although supposedly there's a few off-kilter. We don't really watch
right.
off-kilter too much.
But the band is called the Canadian Holiday Voyageurs, but with a Canadian twist to the Voyageurs word. I don't know how to pronounce it.
And they took over
Noel, the lumberjack.
The lumberjack is gone, so
Right.
he was one of my favorite storytellers.
So in Canada, we lost the storyteller, but we had a sort of a retheming of the not kilter or off kilter there.
Off-kilter.
But everything is normal in France because Papa Noel is still doing
I know, in
his thing.
Canada, it's also not Santa.
That's correct.
No
That's correct.
Santa.
And although Papa Noel has these nice Christmas balls behind him.
The Christmas ornaments that we showed last week.
That's right. You love those.
I
he
do love
seems
them.
very happy to see us, by the way.
And he tells a story of Babette.
Babette. And I think he already showed her giant shoe. So if you want to hear the Babette story and see the big shoe.
We have that up.
That's right. We do have that up. And here is Santa and Mrs. Claus.
And all the kids were very happy to see Santa and Mrs. Claus, getting their wish list.
It's interesting
ready.
how Santa and Mrs. Claus sometimes change their appearance because we will see him later on. And
he looks a little different.
He looks a little less tropical.
Yes, less tropical. We'll see him later in some shorts.
Yes. So I believe this to be his formal Santa outfit. So, you get the best of both worlds on this show.
We'll see him at the Dolphin later.
That's right. Now, this is a tradition that we do every year. We go to the Germany Pavilion for lunch around Christmas time.
And I know a lot of people who don't really like German food. I don't like a lot of German food, but I love it here. I like the pretzel bread and the meatballs. And
what about
it's really
the
good.
sauerkraut?
No, I don't do that.
The worst. No? You all the fine
And
German
I enjoy
food?
the show.
Yes. Well, the show is especially good. It's the Christmas version of the show, and we're going to show some highlights here while we talk about the experience.
When you arrive to the Biergarten, they seat you at tables of 8. They're actually like 2 fours together, and you never know exactly who you're going to be sitting with.
Which can be really nice. I mean, there was one year where we met an Imagineer and we had an interesting conversation. Other times, everyone has spoken a different language, so it was like we were alone anyway. So you just never know, but it is a good chance to meet new people.
And I like meeting, a lot of times I like meeting new people, and we were sitting we were sitting across from a couple who were on their way to Candlelight, and we were actually on our way to Candlelight as well at a later show, but we didn't have the package and they did, and I believe it was about a $25 difference per person for us.
Yeah, exactly right. Go ahead and tell us what the price, with the holiday pricing for the Germany Biergarten for lunch.
It's $25.99 right now for the holiday pricing for lunch, and we get the tables in Wonderland, so we paid about $26 per person.
Right, and they paid over $50 a person to get the package. Now, the package guarantees you a seat at the Candlelight Processional, but it doesn't guarantee you a good seat.
And by good seat, we mean like back in the 90s, you would get like front row anytime you did the dinner package, but like half the theater now is dinner package. So it's good to get there maybe an hour early, even with a dinner package.
Yeah, unless it's a very, very popular narrator and you don't want to deal with the crowds.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Right, somebody like that. Oh, and here is another highlight, by the way, of Germany. The giant beer is big as my head. So
he saved the Candlelight money, buy a big beer.
That's right. Save the Candlelight money, buy a big beer. You could blame that on Mousesteps.
But we live here, so
that's right. That's very true.
If you're on vacation, you can do the package.
And we are missing the Monkey King, but that's okay because we did miss the Monkey King.
We
anyway.
did. We walked by it.
He was a quick.
We didn't have that much time.
Yes, but we did make a full stop for Ulanissen and Sigrid at Germany.
You made me laugh, but yeah, this is one of my favorites. Them and Helga.
Right, Helga. Well, Helga is
we missed Helga in Germany too.
Right, as long as also the Monkey King.
we missed the Monkey King.
No respect for the Monkey King. I feel terrible.
Well,
Next time we're at Epcot, we will stop and fully watch the Monkey King.
We missed almost everybody. So
no, not everybody.
Ulanissen. I know. I love them.
Sigrid.
We will get to all of them by the end of the year.
Yes, not to mention La Befana.
And La Befana, yes.
That's right. So this was the first night of the Candlelight Processional, and we were there for the final show, and the first narrator was Gary Sinise.
And he did a great job. I've seen him in the past, and we saw him also last year.
That's right. That's right. But there were a few changes to the show this year. Gary had a different introduction where they reference Walt Disney and Disneyland and how it all started out there. Also, the number "Do You Hear What I Hear?" that song has been cut completely, as well as the narration that mentions one solitary life, which is sort of the whole point of the Candlelight.
Right, that is the Candlelight is the one solitary life. So I was very surprised at the cut, and I hope that they will reinstate it next year.
Yeah, we would recommend that be reinstated. We've heard a lot of negative feedback about that. But, I mean, Gary Sinise was great. It was a great Candlelight, and he told a very, very nice story that we like so much we're going to include for you in the show. So here is Gary Sinise.
So this is my 10th year here at Disney World doing the show. It's wonderful to be back. You know, I love Disney. And today I had a very special treat. I'll just share a second. I have my parents here, not here at this show tonight, but they're with me on this trip. My wife and my kids are with me. And my Uncle Jack, who served in World War II and just turned 90 yesterday. And so Uncle Jack, I said, "What do you want for your birthday?" And he goes, "Well, I'd like to have a picture with Mickey and Minnie." Well, I have a very dear friend, lots of dear friends here at Disney, but I have a very dear friend of mine, Rob Satterley, who I've known for many, many years, who's one of the top stage managers here. He works at a lot of different parks around. And so I called up Rob and I said, who's here tonight? And I said, Rob, could you make that happen? Can you talk to the King and Queen and see if we can make that happen? And so we went over to the Magic Kingdom today, and they took us backstage, and I thought we were going to just meet Mickey and Minnie back there, and the entire parade of people, all the characters were all there, like 80 different characters, and all the people marching in the parade, and my Uncle Jack got a picture with everybody. It was so special. My Uncle Jack is part of the generation who saved the world from tyranny. And so, can we have the house lights up, please? Bring up those house lights for me, will you? Are they up? That's it? Anybody who served their country, any veteran or any active duty person who served in their country, raise their hand right now. Let us give you a big round of applause. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Being the daughter of somebody who's helped so many veterans, it's really nice that Gary Sinise, does the same, and it makes me happy to hear that.
Right. Every year he normally mentions something like that, so we thought that was very nice. We ended our night at Epcot with the illuminations, but with the Let There Be Peace on Earth holiday tag.
But there's no peace.
Nothing says peace like massive explosive. I mean,
it scares me at the end. It's so loud.
I love it. I mean, look at the tremendous amount of shells. Do you think it's about the same as last year?
Yeah, it's a lot.
I think it's pretty
But
incredible.
It's not peaceful.
It's very peaceful. It's a piece of fireworks.
Yes.
It's fantastic. So one thing about the finale this year is after it's all over, they play the entire soundtrack of the Lights of Winter. So as you're walking out, you hear that very powerful Lights of Winter music, which I like. It's very comforting to hear it again.
You know what is missing?
The real lights?
Arches.
Yes, arches. Well, here you go.
I want arches back.
But you could visit the spot where the poles are. Every year I always say hi to the...
I miss it. I always miss it.
I wouldn't count on it.
I will miss it till I'm 100
technology.
if I make it to 100.
Well, I always love Epcot at night, how everything is lit up and the stage here, and it's just just makes you feel good walking out.
And the sparkling lights.
Yes, many sparkling lights. Holidays around the world will actually be going on right through the end of the year until December 30th. Right. And then New Year's Eve happens, and it's a whole nother ball game.
But, because Thanksgiving was so late this year, it just seems so almost rushed.
Yeah, I do think there's about a week less of holidays around the world, so you might want to get there and check it out soon.
And here we are at the Swan Hotel. The Swan and Dolphin have a great Christmas. I mean, here they have 1,800 pounds of chocolate.
I can't tell you how good this smells. I mean, it is amazing. You just get hit by that chocolate when you walk in the door.
And this piece is new. Santa's been here for 4 years, the train for about 2, and Charlie, the Nutcracker, is about 400 pounds of solid chocolate. Yes,
we love Charlie the Nutcracker. And also new this year is the new Angel.
Right, and that's the tree topper. And I asked the chef, Chef Brandlard, how heavy it was, and it's 20 pounds. And I was like, really? It can sit on the tree? And he said the tree is about 300 pounds. Yeah. And I'm like, it looks so, it doesn't look that heavy.
And here is Santa. I mean, very, very detailed. We just love this display. And if you'd like to see more or hear more about it, more details, we will link to it in the show notes with our interview with the chef and some more close-up shots of all these great displays.
We also headed over to the Dolphin Hotel, which features the tree lighting with Mrs. Claus.
Yes, and as I said before, Mrs. Claus looks a little different now.
Right, she dresses down a little bit. Looks nice.
And there's her helper, Candy Cane, one of the elves there, and they had just lit the tree with the help of the kids. The energy of the kids is what was needed to get that tree lit, according to Mrs. Claus.
And then they bring all the kids out to see Santa Claus.
Right, and here he comes, Although Santa took a different mode of transportation, he gave Rudolph a little break and he took his trusty golf cart.
And he is no longer in his formals.
That's right. You know, Santa told me that his favorite resort of all was the Swan and Dolphin Resort.
In fact, the website to find out about information on the Swan and Dolphin for the holidays is santasfavoriteresort.com.
Ah, it makes sense.
It does.
Makes 100% sense.
It is his
there.
favorite resort.
So now they're very exciting. We're going up. We're going to see Santa. And you notice he has those candy canes there.
We didn't get any.
We did not
but that's
deserve
okay.
it.
I don't need. Did we not deserve it?
Well,
Is that
actually,
it?
I asked him if we've been naughty or nice, and he said it was a tough one. They had him going for a while, but we were on the nice list, so that made me feel good. I like that.
Is
Santa.
it tough because he's been listening to the show or something? I don't
know.
know.
I like that Santa somehow, and this is also new over there this year.
Right, they did a new lighting package at the on the Dolphin Causeway, and they have this really great like a Christmas light show that happens every 10 minutes.
It was a nice way to cap off the day.
It was. And I wanted to mention we're still raising funds for Give Kids the World. We need to hit 3,000 by the end of the year. We're at about 1,300 now, and we appreciate any donation. We've received donations from $5 to $100, and every dollar counts, and we really appreciate it.
Right, thanks to everyone who has donated, and again, it's a great cause. We love Give Kids the World, and you volunteer there, so I think it's very nice. And when is your run?
The run is in January.
Great. Well, I'll get a little group together and cheer you on, and we will also link in the show notes where to go to make a donation if you care to.
Well, thank you.
So now it's time for information on our second Mousesteps contest.
And these two laser cells are from Theme Park Connection.
That's right.
And they gave us a bunch of stuff, so we look forward to sharing more goods soon.
Yes, lots of goodies coming up in the next few weeks.
And to win these, and you would win both of them, you would like the Mousesteps page. It's not Mousesteps Weekly, it's just Mousesteps on Facebook. And then just let us know what your favorite Walt Disney quote is. And that's by next Wednesday, midnight, December 11th.
Right, we'll just pick a quote at random. It doesn't have to be something we like or not. Just
doesn't have to be a real one.
Right, and so thanks very much to Theme Park Connection. We'll see everybody next week.
Have a great week.
Happy holidays.